What's up, guys? It's Jesse here. Welcome back to the channel. And I wanted to record this short video because these days, when I speak to business owners, when I speak to coaches, when I speak to consultants that are trying to get more out of LinkedIn, what frustrates me the most is hearing how much time they spend, or I can better say, waste on LinkedIn trying to book more calls, trying to sign more clients. And this is crazy to me because it's not that their effort is wrong. Like most of these people that I speak to, they spend 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours per day on LinkedIn posting, commenting, reaching out to people, like all the things that the so-called gurus tell you to do every day. So for example, one of those people, they're like, oh, I'm commenting for 2 hours a day on posts of my peers. And I'm like, gosh, don't do that, please. So in this video, I want to just go over how in 60 minutes or less per day, you can do the things you need to do on LinkedIn to book more calls, to sign more clients, and to drive more revenue for your business. So this video is specifically valuable for you if you're a coach, a consultant, or a small business owner who is selling his or her high ticket offer and is just looking for a way to do this in a more scalable way. Well, the reason I get so frustrated and so fed up with people telling me they spend so much time on it because I'm like, oh gosh, I once was like you. I spent so much time on LinkedIn trying to make it work. But all it ended up, it was like an empty inbox, content burnout, and this feeling of like, LinkedIn won't work for my business. So I've been there, I've done it until I found a better way. And like I said, in less than 60 minutes per day, you can do this as well. And it's just not me that does this. So for example, one of our clients, Atanas, he used to do 4 hours per day on LinkedIn to figure it out, to make it work. Like after working together for I think like 2 months ish, he got that 4 hours down to 45 minutes per day, whilst booking 19 calls in the month of May, which for him is pretty insane, right? Because he didn't book any calls from LinkedIn prior. He signed 3 deals, he signed 3 clients in like the first 30 days. So besides like spending 75% less time, he also got this massive outcome. Why is that? Because he systemized his way of going about LinkedIn. So chances are very, very high. So I'm going to assume things here, but very much likely you are a business owner, right? You're not a full time content creator. So you don't want to spend all your time, like, come on, guys, 4 hours a day on content and marketing and LinkedIn as a non marketing business owner is absolutely ridiculous, right? So you just don't have to do that. So you're a business owner, you need to operate your business, you need to serve your clients, you need to be strategic. And marketing and LinkedIn should just be a task, a chore, a to-do, right? So when I talk about systemizing LinkedIn, there are a few different like core elements that in this video I want to walk you through. So the 3 core pillars are of course content first, which is literally like the lifeline of your brand. The second thing is that you want to have conversations. And the third thing is that you want to have a system for it all, right? So hear me out on this. In terms of content, like content creation is the number one step in order to book more calls and sign more clients through LinkedIn. Without content, nothing really works. Well, it does, but it just requires a lot of heavy lifting. And I promise you, pushing content consistently, publishing content consistently on your feed is going to make your life so much better because you build more trust, you build more credibility, people know who you are, people come to you. So, in terms of systemizing your content, what you want to do is you want to co create with AI. So, something that I help our clients with is basically build a custom GPT, a custom AI copywriter in their business, in their voice, in their case studies, in their tone of like their writing style, their quirks, their anything. So instead of staring at the screen and trying to figure it out on their own, they are provided with a GPT that now does the heavy lifting for them. So one of our other clients, Scott, every morning he used to wake up an hour early, and every morning he was sitting at a screen, blank page. What should I write about? And don't get me wrong, like Scott is a very advanced, very mature, like agency owner running his SEO agency, doing amazing work for his clients. So he does know his things. It was just that content creation was just a task he took on his plate. And he was like, fuck, how do I do this? So after I helped him build this custom GPT, he went from 1 hour a day on LinkedIn content to 1 hour per week. And not just that, not only did he spend 7 times less time on content creation, when he had the custom GPT that we built for him, he started booking more calls. And 7 days later, he closed his first client on a $3,500 monthly retainer. And normally his sales cycle for a client like that, to sign a client like that, is like 3 to 4 weeks. But in this case, it was just 7 days. So that just shows that the content he's now pushing out speaks to the right people and just creates more urgency of like, oh, I need to book the call and I want to work with Scott right away. And this is just one of the examples that we help our clients with. So after we dial in their content, we make it sharper, but at the same time, we heavily reduce the time they spend on content because we heavily co-create, in this case, with ChatGPT. So that's about content. So you really want to, as a business owner, you want to think about how can you get more leverage, right? The times that you just like talk, like have a white page and you're just like, what should I think about? Should be gone, right? The same with ideation. Like we help our client when we call it like an infinite ideation workflow, because ideation and like having key concepts to unpacking your content should never be an issue anymore. So we help them with like an idea bank. So they have that one then ready. And at the same time, they have this ChatGPT AI bot, which then of course creates the content. So this is how simple it can be. Second thing, the second big pillar in terms of systemizing your LinkedIn outreach is conversations. So where content gets the attention from your leads, conversations is where you do the selling. Whether you book people on a call or you sell through DMs. And sell through DMs is what we teach our clients. So whether you do the first and the second or just the first, like in these conversations, you should of course know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. So having a structure, a layered approach of having or running your conversations is extremely, extremely important, because like I said, you're a business owner, not a full-time like appointment setter. You don't have like every day you open up your LinkedIn inbox and you're like, what should I talk about? What should I, like, who should I send a message to? What should I even say? Like, who should I follow up? When should I follow up? Oh, am I not being spammy or pushy and X, Y, and Z? So having a systemized way of messaging the right people when the right trigger happens, knowing what to say, moving the conversation forward, following up the right time in the right interval, like 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, knowing exactly what to say, and then book people on a call. And then closing people in the DMs. Like I said, this is something that we help our clients with. So if you need more help with your LinkedIn DMs, make sure to check the link in the description, because I take you to a video with a little bit of a breakdown of how I can help you, what results to expect, and what the next steps will be. So check out that video if you're more interested in working together on your LinkedIn game. Back to the video. So we've covered content. We've covered conversations, which are, of course, like I said, they go hand in hand. Like content gets the people into your world, conversations is where the selling happens. And then the last part is systems, like building systems to, no pun intended, but to systemize your LinkedIn game, right? So one of the systems that we heavily rely on is, of course, AI, and specifically ChatGPT. The other thing which makes the conversation process literally like night and day better is a tool called Condo. So I will drop it in the comment section. You can check it out. You can use it for free. It's one of those tools that has not only made our lives better running the business, but also the lives of our clients. Like every time that I introduce someone to this tool, they're like, I wish I had this tool before. So if you're running a lot of conversation and you're messaging a lot of people on LinkedIn, I'm pretty sure you know that the LinkedIn inbox can be super, super messy, right? So Condo allows you just to put people in buckets, and you know exactly, okay, who should I send the first message to, who should I reach out to the second time, third time, etc. Like I said, it's a system. Who should I follow up with? When should I do the follow-ups, etc., etc. Now, I'm not going to make this video all about content. Check out the link in the description if you want to get the tool, or if you need any help, just drop a comment. Happy to, perhaps if you need a more specific video on that, how I personally use this tool, drop it in the comment section so I can look at it, and I can in the future can make that video. But all in all, guys, like doing these things allows you just to do your LinkedIn game in less than 60 minutes. So the last part of like systemizing it is like a daily routine. It's like I would argue that once a week you sit down and you create your content using GPTs. Second thing, so you don't have to sit down every day. The second thing is what you do is like every day, break down your LinkedIn game in twice. So let's say a half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the afternoon. And how you want to spend this like half an hour is like 10 minutes you engage with people that are in your industry or peers or people that are active to what you do. You want to spend 10 minutes of like replying to the comments on your post. So you want to already have scheduled your post. Like I said, you want to batch create one part of the week and then just schedule for the rest of the week, like set and forget. But every day, you're just gonna make sure that you reply back to the comments that you're getting on your post, because that drives more engagement. And then thirdly, those last 10 minutes of the first 30-minute block, you wanna use to connect with new people, because you wanna actively search for people that fit your target audience, and you wanna add them to your network. You wanna start a conversation, and even if they don't reply, you have them in your orbit if they accept your connection request. So then every time that you post content, they can see the content, and they either like it or they comment it, or they, as a result of the content, they'll check out your profile, so you can then reach out to them, right? And that's where having the conversation becomes like it's like a red thread through everything. So that's the first block. And then in the second block of the day, in the afternoon, the 30 minutes, you want to send more messages, you want to follow up with the right people, and if you have some more time, you want to connect with more people. Because in the morning, you focus on the content and making sure that your content gets more reach, more engagement, more qualified people on the post that you can then message. And then in the afternoon, what you want to do, you just want to reach out to people, but also make sure that you manage your inbox. And that's where using a tool like Condo can be super, super important and super helpful, because it allows you to see, okay, exactly who do you need to follow up with, when was the last message, etc., etc. So do these things properly, and that will allow you just to, I don't know how much time you're spending today on LinkedIn, but if you were like me or some of our current clients, spending 2, 3, 4 hours per day on LinkedIn should not be the case. Like, you're a business owner, not a content creator, and definitely not like a LinkedIn like a LinkedIn setter, right, or something. So use this video to streamline your LinkedIn routine. So like I said, it's important to batch create content. It's important to send messages to people every day. It's important to manage your inbox, and it's very important to also make sure that you follow up and like reach out to connect to the right people. So it's content, messaging, follow-ups, and connecting with the right people. So hopefully this has been helpful. And like I said, if you need any help with your LinkedIn game in order to book more calls, sign more clients, hit the link in the description, and then I'm happy to chat. Peace out, guys.